This is no money, mo money, and after putting an end to a 1,000-year war, he thought to take a little break. But old threats create new problems, and now his path leads to war, through a storm of blood. So I thought, after spending all that time trying to deal with a 1,000-year-long war, I might get a chance to just rest and relax, have some fun or something, you know what I mean? But thanks to someone's
sloppy
ego and vengeance and blah blah yada yada, well, it looks like I can't just spend my time out here fishing. Unfortunately, I need to get to work, because apparently there ain't no one else in this entire realm who can handle any problems at all. Oh well, on to war we go. But first, I guess we should dress the part. No more healing. Time for me to get punchy. Also, you may be noticing already that my game looks quite a bit better than it has in the past. And that would be because I upgraded my graphics card. Now using a 9060, which means I'm also now playing the game in borderless windowed, which means the game is also now running at 1080p instead of 720 like it was in the past. And I'm able to run the game, well, I'm running it on my main display's refresh rate, but effectively I'm recording the game at 60 FPS. And I've cranked like all of my graphics settings up to pretty much maximum across the board. Now, that was a general choice to crank them all up to maximum. I may need to fiddle with the graphics here and there to make the game work well and look good still, depending on how well my graphics card handles it. So you may see the graphic quality of the game change a little bit here and there as I fine-tune these settings, but this is basically what we're going to be running from now on. So yay, quality upgrade on the videos.
General Uldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall, and, as expected, he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
You're saying they won't fight for Ala Mhigo? Even after everything that's happened?
Yes, obviously. They didn't change their mind just because Ilberd was a psychopath.
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lys. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Ala Mhigan opposition. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lys's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Ala Mhigo?
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Gyr Abania?
And you guys
I
are
am
bound
sorry
for
that we shall
Doma.
not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
Oh, don't worry, I'm sure
You have stood
will.
with us countless times, Lady Yugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Time has come for Kozetsu and I to return to our master, to our home.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. That all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Bye-bye, see you later. Oh, yeah, need to have some new clothes for Lys, the first of 2 separate times in this expansion. It's a good look. Honestly, it's my favorite of Lys' looks, right? I like it more than her ARR look, and I like it more than the weird dress that she gets later.
I remember crossing the border, standing in Gyr Abania once more. Me and my fellow Scions, the warrior of light among us. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Guys, there's just been a couple of skirmishes between the Empire and the Alliance, but nothing big yet. Sid is specifically here to look for Omega and Shinryu. Yeah, I'll see you in post Stormblood, Sid. Bye. So we're gonna go see one of the factions, one of the many factions of the Resistance. Straight out to Rhalgr's Reach, okay? Now there's gonna be a bunch of ether currents I can't get yet because you visit this area twice and there's two separate sections to this zone, but I may as well start working on gathering ether currents as I move through anyway. Also, there's gonna be a bunch of enemies around here that are gonna want to fight me because I can't out-level them anymore. Is it the bridge? Yeah, it's under the bridge. Yep, there it is. I wasn't wondering about the tower to the south at all. I'm sure it's an Imperial frickin' border crossing or waygate or some nonsense like that. Let's unlock a new hub zone. Yeah, impressive that this tiny little Resistance has strong enough mages that they can glamour over the entrance to their main hub just to look like rocks. More demasking dust, and huzzah! A secret entrance. Yeah, they covered this entire area with a glamour that made it look like it was just part of the cliffs and the mountains.
I remember the old stories. How the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft
Welcome
the
to
earth
Jurassic
with a single blow.
Rhalgr's Reach.
Rhalgr's Reach, a holy place and a fitting home for the Resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Ala Mhigo. They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost. For what could be ours again.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Rhalgr's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monargo told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rhalgr it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Ala Mhigan resistance.
So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones.
Basically using the Resistance as a cover for our military actions. Not great, but, you know, whatever.
My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats. I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance. But the Resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rhalgr's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree. But it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Yeah, it's not surprising. That's how it goes with fractured resistances.
As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall, and we've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Okay. So fixing things up and recruiting new people.
Ishtola and I could lend a hand in the infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Ala Mhigo liberation.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you lot. Mhigo and Mefred will tell you more.
Alright, so now we report to Mhigo and Mefred, the two, lieutenants or whatever. Yep, split MSQ. Alright, let's go ahead and get access to the other side of this area so that I can have access to, like, the whole zone, at least in general, and be able to gather from all the areas. We're heading east into the peaks. Good, that's where I need to go in order to get the rest of the, gather spots I'll need. We're going recruiting in Alagana. So what do you got for me, Mhigo? Ah, she's taking all the reports about, their formal reply and where their forces are and how much they have and their provisions and all that sort of stuff to the Alliance. Yeah, so we're heading back to Belsar's Wall with her, so I'm not going that way yet. Alright, so we'll just leave Mhigo for later and get to the peaks with Mefred so I can gather resources. And now that we're out to the peaks, I'm gonna ignore Mefred as well and get around to crafting myself my first set of 60 gear from Stormblood for my monk, because he's way behind even where my healer is, and this new set of gear is even high level than that. So now that I have access to this whole upper area of the zone, I should be able to gather everything I need. Let's go ahead and get to that real quick. And there we go, we're all finished. We got ourselves a whole new set of gear, the highest eye level gear I have for any of my jobs. And there it is. Eye level 255 monk. I'm not a big fan of most of this gear. I don't mind the gloves or the shirt. Don't know about the boots because I can't see them. The hood is not gonna stay. Hood and skirt need something to replace them at least, so let me go and put together a glam and figure out what I want this character to look like, and I will be right back. Scratch that. It turns out that the skirt that I don't like is not actually part of the legs, it's part of the upper body, which means I can't get rid of this cool open shirt that really seems like it'd work pretty well with a monk without getting rid of this skirt as well. So instead, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it, but I got rid of the accessories, and I got rid of the hat, because I didn't really like the turban look, but I will go ahead and leave the rest. Still not a fan of the skirt, but if I try to change the skirt, I'm going to change this top too, and I'd rather not. So this is what we're going with for today. Now let's move on with the story, shall we? Now that I've got my new gear set up, I'm going to go ahead and focus on Mhigo's storyline to deal with sort of area we've already come across, rather than pushing out into the peaks area and dealing with that storyline. So let's go back and talk to the Alliance leaders, shall we, ladies? Oh, great. Imperials are coming. So we're going to split up and each take on basically an Imperial patrol all at the same time so they don't have a chance to call in reinforcements. Bye-bye, stupid machine. What's up? Only Alliance patrols ahead. Good. You are in the command of Flame General Raubahn Alden. Yes, yes indeed. Bull of Ala Mhigo himself. Great, Mhigo is a Raubahn fangirl.
It is good to see you again, my friends. I hope you are here to tell me you have made contact with the Resistance.
Allow me to introduce Mhigo of Rhalgr's Reach.
At your service, sir. And may I say what an absolute honor it is to stand before the Bull of Ala Mhigo.
Mhigo, stop blushing and fangirling out.
These are not the Blood Sands, girl. You and I are but soldiers on a battlefield fighting for the same cause.
As you say, General. On behalf of Commander Kemp of the Ala Mhigan Resistance, I present to you our formal response.
Good. I'm glad we've reached an accord. Though I was not aware you had suffered such losses.
The massacres cast a pall over the whole Resistance, and many who might once have been open to joining us have since thought better of it.
After all of the Griffin's false promises, one can hardly blame them. They have no desire to give their lives for a lost cause.
We will not lie to them. This is war, and lives will be lost. Yet what we offer is not the fever dream of a madman, but true hope.
The people need proof of this, Father. Let us show it to them. I say we stand shoulder to shoulder with our new allies and engage the Garleans in open warfare.
Yup.
The Resistance must demonstrate that they can hold their own against Imperial regulars. And with our assistance, I am confident they can do just that.
Time for us to go out and pick a fight with the Garleans.
If we can achieve even a token victory, I believe it will serve to rekindle the hope of the Ala Mhigan people and inspire them to rise up once more.
The question is, when and where do we strike?
Castellum Veladina. The arrival of a shipment rumored to have come from the research and development facilities near the capital containing prototype Magitech armor. I mean, dropping all pretense about the Alliance not wanting to go to war. I think we're pretty much past that point, Mhigo. I think we're good.
Things looked grim for us after Cartano, didn't they? Oh, how they doubted us. Yet here we are, right as rain, with fancy new toys to put through their paces. Well, 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 if it isn't Garland's little troublemaker. I can't wait to see the look on Xenos' face when I bring him your head.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
That is, if my secret weapons here don't grind it into mush. Attack!
Good luck with that. Time to get wrecked, fools. Try and get as many people as we can, so I'm doing some damage to them.
Get after them, damn you!
Go ahead and take out a bunch of the ads, I suppose. Because I imagine this is supposed to be the big special Magitech armor, so it's probably going to be tough to take out right next to Grinwat probably having pretty strong health, too. Go ahead and take out all these little annoyances.
Tizona!
There we go. He's finally using Tizona to just wreck everyone.
As a raging bull!
Boom! Goes like everybody. There we go. It was mostly just like keep fighting until everything's just gone for a while, and then eventually you just end. I didn't do enough damage to beat anyone, so I think that was mostly just like stay alive X number of minutes. He fights and runs the— what the— who are you lot? Hi guys. Ala Mhigo resistance, baby. Oh great, this one's gonna detonate. We better focus on him then. Just dance around him for my positionals here. Doing as much damage as I can. Ain't got no LBs or anything, just hit him with everything I've got, and he's dead. Haha, your weapon is down. Well, so much for that prototype.
Oh! Damn it all! Miracles of Magitech design, my arse! I passed harder stools than these piles of scrap.
This is such a terrible character, man.
You'll pay for this. Mark my words, the next time we meet will be the last.
I'm sure. It definitely totally will. We're not going to fight each other like 20 times over the course of this expansion, are we?
Aye! Run and tell your viceroy! The day belongs to Ala Mhigo!
Hooray!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Went above and beyond what was asked of you without hesitation. Yeah. The symbolic value of our victory can't be overseen. A victory for the resistance is going to get, like, more people to want to join the resistance. The last time Gridanian troops trod this soil was more than a century ago during the Autumn War, and that was to defend against our invasion. Yes! It's almost like you sort of dug your own hole, and that's why nobody wanted to help Ala Mhigo. It's me hard to see that despite our acrimonious past, we could still come together for the sake of the future. It tends to go from village to village and spread word of our victory and our new alliance. Okay, so she's gonna go traveling around on like a recruitment spree. But for now, we are done with her. And that takes care of Manago's story. And the joining of the alliance and the resistance and blah blah yada yada, all that nonsense. But that's more than enough footage for now. So we'll help Mefrid deal with recruitment out in the Peaks area next week. See you later.